Hey, beautiful goddesses. So I just launched my ebook today, and part of the process of this was I did a giveaway for a self-care package that people pre-ordered. Though that's not really what I want to talk to you about. I really have realized actually over the past few months of one of the ways in which I've really helped heal myself from emotional eating and binge eating and hoarding food, um, which is still feels a little bit difficult to talk about. There's still some emotion coming up about wanting to hide that fact, about embarrassment. It's not an easy thing to talk about. So those that are in this group and maybe have dealt with the same thing, I know a lot of people deal with especially a lot of the clients that I work with, emotional eating, eating your feelings. It can be talked about many different ways. And so through my process of really learning to shift that into loving my body and to create healthier habits, I had to learn why I was doing that. And I really had to get down deep because there's many different things that can trigger it, like stressful situations, right? Sometimes we want that comfort of food, like we get in a huge argument with our spouse, or something goes terribly wrong at work, or we lose our job, or something happens and we're triggered by it, and then we go to our food because it's our comfort place. Though it may not be food, it could be some other thing that's really not serving the whole of our health. For me, it was food. And so this started when I was I want to say probably about 9 or 10 years old, really thinking about it. And I started because I would sneak treats into my room and I'd keep them, I'd hoard them into a brown paper bag. And it was kind of an odd thing. And I wouldn't necessarily eat them. At first it just started that I was kind of just hoarding the food for myself. And then it became something where every time I had something bad, it was like, what could I do? How do I handle this? And so then I started looking towards the food because it was something fun. It tasted good. It made me feel better because that was something I had control over. So when I really looked at my process about eating, I really learned that my process of binge eating really stems from me not feeling safe, me not knowing how to cope with stressful situations, some things I never learned as a child, and not how to really to do it in a healthy way. I did not feel fully allowed to express myself as a child. And to say that is big. And so when I wasn't able to express myself in this full way that I wanted to show up because I felt I was going to get in trouble, I turned to food. And in food, I found safety. And I also, it really was a way of me saying, no, this is something I can control. This is all to myself, right? And so through this process that I've healed, and though sometimes that still feeling comes up, but now I know how to work with it. And that's why I do what I do. I've learned to really be an expert in this area in my work. And so now one of the reasons I love giving is because it's a way of me to transform that relationship. So what I mean by that is instead of like hoarding things, not feeling safe, so I have to hoard to make sure that I'm okay, that there's going to be enough for me, that I've learned to give and to give out. So if ever I'm feeling that like, no, I got to eat everything, no, I'm grasping onto everything, and I'm grasping, sometimes I still do that. And now it's not necessarily with food, but I've watched it come up in different areas. And I kind of tuck them all in, so to speak. And so when I give, it's a way of releasing that habit and giving it out to others and saying, I know I'm safe and I want to share this with you. And I am okay over here. I don't need this to be okay for myself. So gifting is my way of doing that. And now I love gifting. I think it's one of the coolest things. I love to gift. It's so cool. It's one of the reasons when I ever think about, right, like winning the lotto or making like millions of dollars, I'm like, oh, think about the gifts I can give, right? Because it's not all about being safe and like needing that security for myself, because I know I am whole within myself now. So today, as I was doing the self-care package, it was kind of like a light bulb went off in my head like that. This is one of the reasons I like gifting, which is so cool that I just found that out, and which is why I wanted to share it with you. is because it's a way of me moving and growing and saying, I'm safe, I'm okay. I don't need to keep this all for myself because this is part of my healing process. So I'm still healing through that. We have to rewrite our story every single day. It's not just, slam dunk and we're done. It's every day rewriting that story of whatever it is that we're dealing with. And maybe it's not emotional eating for you. Maybe it's something else that you're really working on. Though we rewrite that story every day. It's an everyday commitment. And it gets easier and easier for sure. Though I really wanted to share that because I thought that was really cool that gifting is now a part of my healing process. So really stoked on that. And I hope that within your journey, whatever that is, that you can find something in your healing process about your body or about food or about maybe it's about exercise, maybe it's about something else that moves you and excites you just as much as what the old pattern was. So creating a new pattern through positivity. So that's my cat. So sharing that with you, and let's move forward and rejoice in new positive and healthy patterns together. So for those of you that may be struggling with emotional eating and you're like, yes, that sounds like me and how I am right now or how I've been in the past, if you don't want to share publicly in this group, that's okay. But feel free to send me a message and let's chat. Let's have a session and talk about that, because it's one of the things that, my process is really is now my work. And I love talking about that and sharing in that experience in the healing process with others. So beautiful day to you all. And I really hope to share more about this process with you.